Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today guys, I've got a game from the Razor Replay Pack of the Week and it is between GLSnute, the red Zerg player in the top right position, who's up against LiquidTLO, which means this is a ZvZ, which means we're going to see Banelings, Zerglings, Infestors, Roaches, Hydras, and should this be an absolutely freak of nature ZvZ game, we may even see Broodlords, but I think I've only ever cast one ZvZ where it got as far as getting Broodlords onto the field, so we'll wait and see, we can live in hope. But what can we really expect from this game? Well, ZvZ has so many different openings, it's brilliant. It's one of my favourite things about ZvZ, is that anything from a 6 pull right up to like a 15 hatch are all viable openings. And as a result, you don't really know what's going to happen when. The good news is both these players have got their overlords before getting a spawning pool, which generally means we're in store for a game that will last longer than 5 minutes. But for some people that could be a downside. Maybe some of you love those cheesy plays. I do have some of those on my YouTube channel. Quite a lot of them, for some reason, are up against some player called E.G. Idra. I made a whole playlist of him raging, so do check that out if you like to see an angry Graken. Anyway, what is the map? Daybreak. Daybreak is a really nice map. It's a favourite of players, casters. Basically everyone loves this map because basically it's not too long of a rush. Well, it's a nice long rush distance. The natural base is easy to hold but not super easy. The third base is significantly harder to take. It's nice and spread out. There's lots of different attack paths, and obviously you've got these rocks in the center which can go down in the late game to add some really good fun. Now both players are going to take their 15 hatcheries, so this is macro builds from both these two. I wouldn't expect anything less from TLO because he does love his drones. Snute as well. You see a lot of pro players really taking the 15 hatchery as opposed to going any earlier, or getting a pull earlier, just because they're confident in their defensive ability. And at pro level you tend not to see so much cheese. On a ladder or something like that, you often get people just 6 pull you or 8 pull you, and you always have in the back of your mind, what if I die to some cheesy opening? And it's very hard on a map like Daybreak, especially in ZvZ, to scout a 6 pull. It could be down and basically at your door before the Overlord gets over there, which would always be a pain. But for the moment, both these players have of course seen that the hatcheries are down for each player. That's a good news. Both players getting their pulls at a similar time. The gas slightly earlier for TLO, so obviously that's just going to help him get the speed up sooner. And there's two real chain of thought in regard to what to do with your initial gas. Some people like going speed first. You see that a lot more in pro level play. But some people much also prefer going for Banelings first. Now the reason I would take Banelings as opposed to the speed is if I didn't scalp my opponent going for the hatchery. That is the important thing you're going to be looking for. If the hatchery's down, they're not going to be putting on early aggression to you. You can get speed out in time and you don't have a big threat of a big mass Ling play. However, having said that, a really effective opening you can see a lot of Zerg players go for is a 15 hatch into a 16 pull, but then they don't take the gas. And actually that is precisely what Snute has done. He cancelled his gas like a complete baller. So obviously the threat there is, well, there's two threats from not seeing gas. Threat one is that your opponent is going to drone like a beast, and then you're going to get behind economically. Threat two is this base isn't actually for the minerals and the mining, it's just purely there for the extra production, and any second you're going to have stupid amounts of Zerglings at your base, and the only real way to deal with that is with an awful lot of, well, with Banelings. So that's why it's sometimes worth getting Banelings with the first 50 gas. And as you can see here, TLO making a bit of a mistake. He's up to 160 gas already, and he hasn't started a Baneling nest or Zergling speed. And there really isn't any way to talk about this without it being a mistake. There's no reason to bank up that much gas this early on. It's just pointless. It's resources that are just sitting there in a trust fund without interest, which is just bonkers. Anyway, Snute taking his third base, and that's a super early third base timing. TLO now taking his second gas as well. He has now started Lair, but he still has, what, 120 gas, so he needs to start thinking, how am I spending that gas? He's getting up an evolution chamber as well, so I'm thinking we're going to see some upgrades. Meanwhile, though, for Snute, he is still sitting on 0 gas, which is to be expected because he's still his third base up. He's playing super economically. This Overlord will go and scout that third base shortly, though. So obviously once that's spotted, then obviously TLO is going to know what Snute's playing and really what he's going to be weak to. And one of the big things that he will be weak to is big pushes, because he's taken this third base exceptionally soon, which means he's not going to have things like Zergling speed, he's not going to have any tech, and basically he's going to struggle to have anything other than a lot of drones on the field. This Rotron on the way down for TLO, he's getting up his third gas as well. Now this is an awful lot of gas, awfully early, and there's the fourth gas, so this could be 2 base mutas, which is an effective strategy against an early third expansion, because they're not going to have any kind of tech to deal with that. So it's Spore Crawlers is really the only way they'll be able to defend that. That's of course static defense, which is not great, and you're not really at a risk of being countered with an awful lot of roaches, which is really the only effective counter strategy to mute play, is that you just go and kill your opponent basically. Now as you can see here, all 4 gases are up now, the layer is up, so we should hopefully see that Spire gets started soon, otherwise it'd be pretty funky times. But no, it's not going to be a Spire, it's going to be a Nidus network. TLO, you baller. That is an unusual strategy, but we do of course have the Overlord placed there, and Snute is not in a position to scout that out. He's getting his Evolution Chamber, getting his second Evo up as well, getting his Roach Road up, getting his Lair up, he's getting all of his gas now, he's got his 3rd base up as well, and well, that Nidus is getting very close to done. We've got roaches on their way out, 10 on the way, speed coming out, +1 missile attack as well. And TLO, I love your use of roaches, but you sacrificed your Overlord in, and now that Queen is going to be keeping an eye out on what's happening. That is never fun times. You shouldn't have given away that Overlord was there. As always, a bit of a dodgy move. You want to keep that hidden. You don't want to know that anything's down there. Meanwhile, look at this. It's all getting loaded up. The Nidus, where is it going down? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. We've got the Nidus Worm. I am a massive fan of Nidus networks. I think they're so underused and just so damn awesome. Meanwhile, Snute, he has got very little to defend this. He has got a grand total of 1 Spine Crawler, and suddenly he has got stupid amounts of roaches at his 3rd base. He cancels the Spine Crawler. He knows this base is going down. There's no way he's going to be able to hold this. He is getting 10 of his own roaches out, but he's going to lose so many drones in this process. He is just going to lose everything, and I like the strategy actually by TLO of just going for it, because if you wait too long, then your opponent can obviously bank up a whole load of units to the natural base, and you may not be able to outdo them with numbers. We should see some more reinforcements coming in. There we go from TLO there already, and obviously he needs to get as many units through that Nidus network as possible in order to deal with these roaches of Snute, and he's doing a good job. He's picking them off very, very effectively. So many drones going down right now, and this is looking absolutely amazing for TLO at the moment. How is he doing in terms of the drone count? Well, he's about equal, which actually isn't a bad thing. We've got roaches going straight up towards the main base. We've got more units coming in to deal with the 3rd, and well, this is just fun times. In we go. We've got drones going down absolutely everywhere. Of course, roach speed is done for TLO, isn't done yet for Snute, and Snute is just having to multitask everywhere, which is not fun times for him, and that's why these roaches in the main are able to do so much, because Snute is trying to defend the 3rd base as well, multitasking like a beast. Better attack arcs there for TLO at the moment. He's got more roaches on the way through. He's still producing more. He's got the +2 missile attack on its way down. He needs to engage with all of these roaches, though. He'll have problems. He's trying to pick off as much stuff as possible. So many drones killed, 30 already dead. This is just absolutely crazy. TLO now taking a big, big lead. He's focusing down that 3rd hatchery. And once that falls, any advantage Snute may have had is gone, because of course TLO has got his own 3rd base up. The 3rd base of Snute does fall, and he can just run away to the Nidus network like a beast and get away completely safely. Meanwhile, there is still just a handful of roaches sitting here, which are happy to pick off any drones that come over, and Snute even transferring more up to the main base, and he's just like, oh damn it. A couple of roaches coming back, but quite a few more drone kills are going to go down, and this is absolutely bonkers. Counterattack coming in here, but TLO is in an amazing position to defend this, because, well, he's got all of his roaches neatly coming back to his army. 38 workers killed in total, and Snute just GG's. He's like, I can't win this. It's just not going to work. So TLO showing us all why the Nidus network is frigging awesome. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy, please subscribe, leave a cool comment, like the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.